Well, hello everybody. Travels with Dottie here, and it's the final day in the end of Big Tent Week. So we're looking for the beginnings of the mass exodus of the masses, and Quartzsite will return to Quartzsite winter normal, which things like shopping, driving, parking, a heck of a lot easier, but it's a heck of a lot less exciting, isn't it? So as we're coming into town here, I'm kind of looking at the left and the right to see how many rigs are still out here in the long-term visitor areas. We're coming up on La Posa North and La Posa West. North will be, I believe, on the right, and west on the left. So you can kind of see on camera, I've got kind of a wide view going here. It's a lot more sparse than drives you've seen me doing in the past week. That's for sure. And this is when I do the weather every day, when I say partly cloudy, this is classic partly cloudy, what you're seeing here. And that sign here tells us we're in the town limits of Quartzsite. There's the entrances to both long-term visitor centers on the right and the left. And off in the distance, you can see the big tent still standing, but in a couple of days, maybe a week, it'll be gone again for the season. So what am I doing today? Well, I wanted to drive around a little bit, see if people are really leaving, if it's really thinning out. And I need a donut. I'm sorry. I got this craving for a donut. So that's gonna be my official excuse. I'm coming into town for a single donut. I may buy two, one for later. Those RVs to the left there that are for sale, they will be leaving very soon as well. And I'm betting they pay a bunch of people to drive those things from show to show. I'd be interested to know exactly how that works. Do the drivers all park their private vehicles crossing Kuhn Street here? Do they drive their private vehicles to the next destination, get bussed back here to drive them? I don't know. Be interesting to find out. We're crossing over Interstate 10 here, which goes all the way from Los Angeles all the way east to Jacksonville, Florida. No entrance ramps here. You got to go either way on Main Street here to get to exit 17 or exit 19, where you can actually get on and off Interstate 10. We got some road work happening here. We're coming up on Main Street, and I'm going to be making a right-hand turn here. I'm going to be going on the eastern part of Main Street. Down the street, we have many of the usual places that I go to that if you've been watching me for a while, you could probably point them out without my assistance. But the first thing you see is Roadrunner Market on the left-hand side there. And that's a signal that directly across the road to the right there, you don't see a big sign, but that's Main Street Laundry on the right. But the most obvious landmark is seeing the Roadrunner Market on the left. You know, hey, I'm here. I need to make a right to get into Main Street Laundry. It's the biggest laundry in town. And then up here we have the Coyote Market, where I'm going right now with the Family Dollar right next to them. And I'll be pulling into this parking lot. for many years, at least 3 years or 4 years, I've been coming here in the winter, and I've never failed to find a parking spot in this parking lot or in Roadrunner for whatever reason. It's always been a parking spot. So I'll be right back. And here I am. I got my donut. I'm pretty excited about that. If you haven't figured it out, this isn't, my voice isn't as I'm doing this. This is a couple of days later, and I'm kind of reliving the errand. And the reason for that was that I really wanted to listen to music driving that day. And so I decided to mute the audio and go back and do a voiceover on it. So that's what we're doing. Look at those partly beautiful, partly cloudy skies. And here we are back going west on Main Street. Notice gas still is under the $3 a gallon mark for regular unleaded. That's been a pleasant thing. It was a lot higher last year. Prices they've crept up a little bit. They were, I think, at their lowest when I got here in November. And here we are again at 95, but in town they call Route 95, they call it Central Boulevard. So I'm making a left here on 95. But I think, if I remember right, I'm not going to make the left on this green. I think I'm going to have to wait a whole cycle. They have, I heard and saw a massive traffic enforcement effort in town here. They were pulling people over and citing them everywhere. Traffic and traffic violations, I assume, are a pretty big problem during this week in Quartzsite. This little tiny town is just inundated with visitors for Big Tent Week. And we got our green arrow. Those may look like tiny homes on the corner. They're not really. They're storage buildings for sale. And you absolutely could make one with a lot of effort, you can make one of those into a tiny home, I'm sure. So we're going back over the interstate. And I remember clearly what I was thinking here. There are not going to be too many more times coming over this hill as I look out that I'm going to be seeing the big tent anymore. It's going to be gone soon. There it is on the right. It'll disappear for another year. And I have mixed emotions every year about this. It's nice that after a week of excitement, you've had just about enough and you're ready for people to clear out and for things to quiet down and calm down. On the other hand, it's kind of like that feeling the day after Christmas, where there's a lot of anticipation built up leading up to the big event, Christmas Day. And it's a wonderful experience, and then it's all over too soon. And that's sort of the other emotion I feel about the Big Tent. There are those RVs on the right. I'm wondering about how they hire all the drivers and how the logistics works on that. So I'm going to take you all the way back to camp with me. And what I did there is I widened out the view, because what we're looking at, I wanted to look at, especially when I get down to the LTVA, is how densely or less densely populated the boondocking areas are. So we have a much wider field of view here today. I this week I got some things accomplished that I've been meaning to do for a long time, and that is purging myself of some big bulky items that I'm no longer using. And the first one was my Blackstone grill. I used to use it constantly, but and it's a 22-incher double burner Blackstone. It's big and heavy. I have a special table I have with it. It's heavy and it takes up a lot of room in the truck when I travel. Since I've gotten the little air fryer and Instant Pot, I haven't used it at all. So I was able to it's a few years old and it's really dirty, and I didn't want to clean it to sell it, but I did have a friend that was thrilled to take it for free, and would be more than happy to clean it up. So that, and to the same person, I bequeathed I have a very, very large propane fire pit, and I have now a little thing you might have saw in a previous video called it's a torch fire pit, very compact. So I have that if I ever want to sit around a fire. So I got rid of that. Then the third thing was I upgraded my generator this past summer from a Honda 2200i to a Predator 5000 dual fuel. Now the Honda is known as a real gem. And it's very high quality. They're known to last for 20 years. And I decided I'll just sell it for $500. And if you look it up online, you would realize that if I put it on Facebook Marketplace, it would be I'd get a call or a message to buy it within minutes, I'm sure, because that would be they go for $1,000. The used ones, even on eBay with shipping and everything, are maybe $700. And I wondered, why am I hesitating? I just keep putting it off. And a viewer who is also a neighbor out here happened to ask me, do you know any place in town I can buy a generator? And I go, yes. And I was able to. Then I realized what I was waiting for. I was waiting for someone I knew to want it, because I know I was making someone such a special deal that I wanted it to be someone that I know. So that was a happy ending. So here we are back in long-term visitor area, La Poza South. And La Poza is all Old Spanish for resting place. So we got the wide view here, and for this to be meaningful at all, you would have to envision what it looked like just a week ago. And just a week ago, it was pretty overwhelming. They were just packed in, and it's there's a significant difference here. So I'm going to take the long way around to show you. One of the things I want you to see is this Sunday, it's a big exit day, and what people like to do, for obvious reasons, is go through the dump station before you hit the road. Because why be driving that extra weight around? So we're going to show you what a long line at the dump station is like here. And the line you're about to see is pretty consistent throughout the whole Big Tent Week. But it's down here a ways. I think I'm seeing, do you see the red, white, and blue bus right there on the right? I met half of that couple that have that bus in my video just the other day on the Cellorama. And she was working in, I think it was an ice cream place. And she said, "Oh, I know who you are. Your Travels with Dottie. My husband and I watch you all the time." She was really excited. And she said, "I'm in that red, white, and blue bus in La Poza South." And I knew exactly what she was talking about. And she said, "You can come out anytime And I said, how about if I just do an interview with you guys and a tour of the bus? And they said, excellent. So I'll do that. They're going to be here for a while, so I got some time to make that happen. Yeah, you can see off on the right here, all this open space was not open just yesterday. And where we're going to be turning into the desert here is there'll be a space in the line where there's a road, people they leave space so you can turn in. But here is the backup on the right here. All of these guys waiting for their turn at the dump station. They basically go two at a time, so it's going to take a while for the last person in this line. And here we have the space, I think. No, not there. Maybe one more. Most people figure out to leave a space for people to make this turn that I'm about to make right here. And again, I notice I turn in here, there are a lot less campers out here than a week ago. I just think the sky, the partly cloudy sky, is just gorgeous. And here, you guys heard me talk about the washes. We're going to drive through a couple of washes that, like, I would take my trailer through this, but I'd go very, very slowly, very slow. We're going to go through more than one here. There's one. Here's two. And this is yet a third one here, right here. And in a minute here, we're going to be in the home stretch to get back to camp, and you can see how few rigs there are out here. It was just a sea of them just yesterday. Now things are back down to what I referred to earlier as quartzite winter normal. I really do enjoy it that you guys hop up in the truck and ride with me on these little adventures. It's one of the things I love the most about being a YouTuber. Well, Dottie and I have arrived back in camp, and that's going to be it for the kind of the first day after the Big Tent Week tour around the LTVA in town. Thank you for watching. I'm grateful when you watch my videos. I'll see you tomorrow.